Today, we're going to talk about beating the cold and shit hit the fan. And it's perfect time because this fog rolled in and the temp just freaking plummeted and I'm starting to freeze my ass off. Okay. So, like always on this channel, we're going to use the 80-20 rule. We're going to talk about what the challenge is, basically. And we're going to discuss body fat and what it does for us and why a lot of us are going to be up shit creek when the shit goes down. And then we're going to talk about the 20% that we can do that's going to produce 80% of the results for us in SHTF. So, first off, let's go through a little scenario here. We're going to use my current statistics in the example. All right, I am 6'1", 200 pounds, and 15% body fat. All right, so I have 30 pounds of fat on me right now. How many calories are in a pound of fat? Well, it's roughly 3,500 calories, okay? That means that my 30 pounds of fat are worth 105,000 calories. Because what does fat do for us, guys? Well, it does a lot of things, but there's two things we're mostly concerned with in this regarding this topic, okay? And that's that it insulates us and it's additional calories we can burn if we need them, if we're operating at a deficit. Okay, so a deficit would be, it's shit hit the fan. I am up right before dawn. I'm awake into the night. I'm active all day because it's SHTF, right? And I'm trying to get shit done and trying to, provide for the family and all that. And there are occasional bouts of high intensity activity. So my 200-pound frame is burning 3,000 calories a day. Well, if I'm only consuming 2,000 calories, but I'm burning 3,000, I'm now at a 1,000 calorie deficit. I want you guys to think about this. How long is SHTF going to last? I preach 2 years, all right? 1 year where everything's tanking super hard, and at the bottom, it's going to start coming back up, but it's going to take us another year to kind of recover. So 2 hard years. Well, in that scenario where I'm at a 1,000 calorie deficit, remember, I only have 105,000 extra calories of fat on me. In a 7-day week, I just burned 2 pounds of fat. I only have 30 pounds of fat on me. So in 10 weeks, if I'm operating like this for 10 weeks, I will have burnt 2/3 of my fat. Now I only have 10 pounds of fat. Now I'm a 180-pound dude with only 10 pounds of fat. So now my body fat's percentage is roughly 6%, right? It would be 5, but my body weight's decreased as well. So we're talking roughly 6% now. Now, what happens when your body fat gets low? Your body starts to freak out. It's like, oh shit, I need this to survive, So I got to burn something else, and it'll stop right there. It's like, I need to keep this fat on me, and it will begin to catabolize your muscle. When your body starts to catabolize muscle, you will begin to smell like ammonia. Ammonia and whatever it is you're mostly eating, okay? The stronger the smell, the faster you're burning protein. If it's not quite as strong, you're not burning it as fast. How do I know this shit? You want to know how I know it? Because I've been starved 3 times in my life, and I have catabolized muscle during those times. One time was pretty bad. I lost a lot of weight and mostly muscle, 35 pounds, okay? It's a whole other story, though. I think I've shared it somewhere else already. At any rate, you guys can see where this is going, right? Your body fat is reducing, and it also, not only is it like safety and security regarding calories, it's a calorie bank you got on you, Not only is that going away, but now you're going to be colder faster. And I absolutely guarantee you that's what's going to happen. So as preppers and survivalists, what's a reasonable percentage of body fat we should have on us? Because I should really touch on this. I'm going to say it's 15% for men and it's 20% for women. Okay? Women generally carry about 5% more body fat than men do, and it's carried differently on their body. But I think those are good places to be. It's not going to hurt your performance. If anything, you're not going to feel a lack of energy. All right, you're not going to be rocking a dick do. You know what a dick do is? It's when your belly sticks out further in your dick do. Okay? Like, I'm not rocking a dick do. I'm still, I look like I'm in good shape and I'm golden. I'm not rocking abs because those usually don't pop out for most people until about 10% body fat. Don't worry, you're going to get abs, whether you want them or not. Now that we have some realistic expectations about what we can expect in Shit Hit the Fan, what's the 20% that we can do right now and in SHTF to make sure we're more prepared for it? Well, there's a number of things. The first thing you can do is prep, right? Obviously. You want that additional insurance, dudes. Okay, so build up those stores of dried and canned foods. The second thing we can do is we can make sure that we have additional clothing, additional layers that we can put on. Something else I need to note for you guys, okay? Lots of your heat, your body heat, it leaves through your head. So you don't have to be like someone who's big into headgear. Man, I wear headgear more now than I ever have in my whole life. But you want to have a beanie. You want to have a beanie with you in your bug out gear or a shamog. You want to have some stuff you can use to wrap your head, scarves like around your neck and the back of your head, whatever it is. You want to be able to cover this up. You also want to have some options for your hands, and you want to have some thicker socks as well. Another thing you can do is become fat adapted. Now, what is that? So most people aren't going to know what that is unless they've done keto, okay? Yes, I'm telling you to go do keto for 40 days. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. Some of us are fat adapted, but the huge, massive majority of us are not. And what it means, right? So the way your body operates right now is it burns glucose in your muscles, right? The liver replaces that glucose. You're always kind of burning a little bit of amino acids that's in your bloodstream. That's protein. And when your glucose levels drop to a certain point, your body begins burning a little bit of fat. That's why if anyone who's ever looked into like the fat burning zone and got on a treadmill and stuff like that and got their heart rate to that target level, okay, for a certain period of time, you're going to begin to burn fat at a certain heart rate at a certain period of time just because of where your glucose levels are getting. When you become fat adapted, your body has been trained to burn fats as an energy source instead of carbohydrates. Okay, and what happens then is if you're living on, let's say you're not fat adapted and you're living on game, right? Protein and fats is what you're living on. You're going to be dragging ass. I promise you. You're going to be dragging ass. Be like, damn, because your body just doesn't have those carbs. And what your body is doing is it's taking protein and it's turning it into carbohydrates. That's literally what it does. It's not a super inefficient process. It's not a super efficient process, okay? But you also lose part of those calories converting them. That's what happens, okay? So your body's converting proteins to carbs to run. Well, when you become fat adapted, and you have to train your body to do that, then your body will just start burning fat. No problem. Like, it gets good at it. You're basically training your body to be very efficient at burning fat. And your energy levels will be good. I will tell you, they're not going to be amazing. I did keto while I was in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and dudes, I'll tell you what. So when you're rolling in BJJ, those of you guys that have done it, imagine you're wrestling, right? It is a high energy activity, and keto could not keep up. Okay, the ketones that I was burning, this is what happens. Okay, I don't need to get into the whole thing. I'm sure you'll look it up if you're interested. Okay. But your body starts to run on ketones for energy. And they are not great for high intensity exercise, but they are good for like aerobic activity. I could go jog and I was fine. I had plenty of energy. I could go hiking for miles and miles and miles, plenty of energy, just on keto, no carbs. Okay? So yes, look into keto. 40 days is all you need to do. Your body is trained. And at SHTF, you're going to be better off. Cold water immersion. Let's talk about that real quick, because that has just a host of benefits. But one of the things it does is it kicks your mitochondria into overdrive, which allows you to adapt more rapidly to changing environments. And when you're like conducting physical activity, it heats you more. This is why kids can run around in shorts outside and you're like, got 2 layers on. You're like, I'm freezing my ass off. So when you're younger, your mitochondria work better. They perform better. But the older you get, they're not as good anymore. So one way you can keep your mitochondria kicking ass is by exposure to cold. Right now, eventually everybody is going to have kick-ass mitochondria in SHTF. But making sure they're badass right now, it's not going to hurt you. It's going to be a benefit to you. All right. And we're not talking like you don't need to go take ice baths like Joe Rogan every single day. Okay. But all you do is you get in the shower, you take your shower on warm instead of hot, because hot showers kill white blood cells on the surface of your skin. And you know what? You could probably use those white blood cells if shit goes down. But when you're done with your warm shower, you switch it over to cold for just a couple minutes, right on the back of the neck here and the upper back. And actually back here, I should talk about this as well. You have brown fat, and brown fat keeps you warmer than white fat. White fat is the stuff that makes up the dick do. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff around the midsection, okay? Brown fat consumes white fat to rapidly heat your body. So you want brown fat. So definitely do that. You know, you don't need to make it a big deal, but when you have an opportunity to go swimming in a cold pond or a cold stream or a lake or something, get out there and do it. And do it beyond a level of comfort for a little bit. You got to make your own decisions, man. I don't want anyone coming back trying to sue me because they forgot hypothermia because they were stupid. You know what I mean? So that's my disclaimer, man. It's on you. Your own actions are on you. All right? I think that's it, dudes. I'm going to wrap it up. I think you get the idea. Okay? You are going to have to deal with extremes of cold that you didn't think you were going to have to deal with when the shit goes down. And is the temperature really going to be colder? It's not going to be colder than it is right now. Just you're going to be dealing with it more. You're going to be out in it. All right? And your body fat levels are going to be lower, and your mass is going to be lower. Think about your body mass as well, dudes. I'm 200 pounds right now. You know what? It's not hard for me to get out in the cold and to stay warm for a longer period of time because I have a certain amount of thermal mass. Well, when I get down to 160 pounds and shit hit the fan, I'll tell you, or lower, okay, I'll be colder much more rapidly. There you have it. Okay. Like, share, subscribe it. Check out my link in the description. Guys, come support the channel. Help us do bigger, better things. And I am doing big-ass patron-only videos now that are like over 20 minutes long. All right. Dropping all kinds of different freaking information and shit. So I hope I see you guys on there. That's it. I'll let you go. See you all in the next one. Oh, fuck, it's cold.